Scumbling, we start off in this asylum, and I'm thinking, okay, girl, interrupted. What's gonna happen here? One thing I noticed about in this asylum, the first scene seems like they're picking people, and it's like, oh my gosh, what are they picking them for? I can't tell. Is this a lobotomy? Is this bad or good? But it does appear as if these are the people they're picking for release. So when they have them outside, I'm not sure if they're outside because they're waiting for their ride or what, but the laughter is extremely unnatural. So, kind of like, okay, is this a way of really showing that these people are not okay? And then when she gets back home, you kind of get to see the element of what brought her here in the first place. Her father is represented as extremely overbearing, extremely pressuring. He's definitely not the most likable character at all. In every case, it just seems like he has got his thumb on her neck, or his foot on her neck in every aspect, whether there's no encouraging nature to the way he speaks to her or to his family. But that is a way of the period. This is set in 50s, 60s, black and white. It's definitely believable as far as it's being said, as far as the costumes and everything like that, and the way it's shot. There were some things that left me with questions. Sneaking after feeding the homeless. What is the meaning of this? But you do later see that she has this sense of feeling like there's more to life and that she wants to help people. And you see that in her, fascination with King and all those types of things. And maybe it's this sense of, how can we call ourselves Christian, but we are content with people living the way that they're living or living beyond, below us. You definitely saw the dog as an extreme source of comfort for her. There was definitely a lot of frustration with her artistic pursuits and with her drawing, which you saw from the immediate point. And so when you got to see her get to the point where she is able to complete a painting, it does kind of represent maybe her being okay and not being okay in all these other times she was unable to. The actress definitely represented bipolarism, extreme highs and lows. That was very obvious. And then I did enjoy the redeeming quality of over time, seeing that she regained her strength and her voice, and the ability to stand up to her father because someone needed to, because it didn't seem like anyone else in that family had the ability to. And so it left me feeling like, okay, she's going to be okay.
For the short film Scumbling. Wow, there's so many interesting things about this film. The title is the first, and I actually looked it up after I watched it because I was like, that can't be some random name or title. And basically the meaning of it is to modify a painting or color by applying a very thin coat of opaque paint to give a softer or duller effect. So that really went with the whole theme of this film. This reminded me, of course, of like a 50s, 60s type of film. The set design and the costumes and makeup, and not just that, but it was the actual style of the acting. So the directing and acting was really well done for this style. It kind of reminded me of like a Gidget, Leave It to Beaver, that type of style of acting. It was very slowly paced, which was a little difficult for me, but I mean, that could just be because of the style and that it was supposed to be, older, and the way things are now is a lot more fast paced, but I really thought it also added to the theme of her being maybe like that's how her world is operating right now, just on a very slow pace. I thought it was a really, really neat, very nice music, great editing and camera work, and the actors were really good. I especially love the main actress and actually her brother. I really liked the story. I felt like it was about her kind of coming back from a mental, stay in a mental institution or psychiatric institution, maybe because she was feeling frustrated with her own perfectionism, with her art and her expression, and not feeling like she could express and all of that stuff, and just kind of coming back home and dealing with things that may have even tipped her in that direction of feeling at a loss of what to do with her life, maybe. So, like, dealing with her family and the not being able to really connect with her dad and her mom. And the mom was interesting because I kind of didn't like her, but I think I know why. It's like that's kind of how moms were. Like, they didn't really know, maybe, how to deal emotionally, or I think a lot of moms were better off. Like, their voices weren't heard, their opinions weren't heard, so maybe they were just used to not expressing themselves in that way. And I think it showed a lot with their relationship. It was very difficult to watch, but I thought that showed that it was very well done. Great script, great acting overall, great set design, if I didn't say it already, great locations, costumes, makeup. I really loved the direction of this and how it went. Wanted to see more, even though the end really did show the hope that she was getting back and acclimating and able to express herself again. So great job, everyone. Hats off to everyone who made this.
I really like Scumbling, yo. This film made me feel things, like, for real. Um, that actress, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That actress, like, I was like, my heart, like I wasn't crying, but you might have thought I was crying, but I wasn't crying. But yeah, it was the actress, the whole cast was really strong, but that actress, the main actress, excellent. Also, I really like the production design to do, 50s, 60s. Is it's hard to pull that off effectively, and I think this film is one of the few short films that's like I really like am transported like back for real, for real, for real, for real. So I really like that. The production design, the aspect ratio, and the cinematography really accented it, added to that. Overall, really well done. Good job.
Scrumbling. I thought this was really interesting. I think that the thing that kind of struck me the most was this idea and this concept of intentional uncomfortable silence, and letting so much of that movie just be complete silence, and letting it kind of fill those gaps and expand into this kind of uncomfortable place, but it's intentionally uncomfortable as a product of the time that they've set it in and of the situation. And I just thought they really pulled that off so well, because they didn't rush any of those moments. They didn't go out of their way to add any extra dialogue. They really did just leave it as exactly what it was. And I think that's really impressive, because I think a lot of the time people tend to, in life in general, fill the gaps, and you try and fill in the silence. And I really enjoyed that this didn't do that. It really made you just kind of sit in her journey as she's kind of going through it, which I don't think would have happened as well if they had more dialogue or more anything going on in the background. And I think they pulled off the time period really well, and the kind of product of what would be realistic for that time, for this situation. I thought it was really interesting. I loved the kind of work that they did with the artwork itself, and how that kind of kept coming back, even when she got like mad and trash all over stuff, and it kept coming back and it kept coming back. That artwork was the thing that kind of binded her and linked her throughout this whole journey. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really intriguing.